It's 4:30 on WKYT this morning. A state of emergency has been declared in Harlan County and in Leslie County as well after flash flooding. We'll have more on that and today's forecast just ahead this morning.
After 3 years, there's still no decision and no sign, of a Madison girl who went missing. We'll hear from her mother coming up.
And Georgetown College has been placed on probation by accreditors. Find out why. That and more on WKYT this morning.
This is WKYT This Morning.
Good morning from WKYT. Welcome in. Here we are, dark and early, bright and early, getting ready for Thursday, whatever it is. I'm Bill Bryant.
And I'm Rebecca Smith. Today is a WKYT First Alert Severe Weather Day.
I have to really watch things out there. We do have a lot of humidity this morning. You can feel it in the air. Here is meteorologist Micah Harris keeping us up to date.
Yeah, we still have more storms in the forecast for today. Now, what we're watching this morning is an area mainly for far northern Kentucky. That is going to be your best bet as I zoom on in. We do have a severe thunderstorm warning for that Cincinnati area, and we'll have to watch this as it slowly creeps down toward the south. We could actually see those into the far northern county. That's what we're going to be watching very closely right now, but as we head off into the evening and into the night, that's going to be a different story. You'll have a line of storms rolling on through, and that's what we're going to be watching later on. Today, strong storms are in the forecast. There's going to be much of your day that's going to be dry. And because of that, you'll see temperatures spike right around 90 degrees. Now, as Bill mentioned earlier, Harlan and Leslie counties have both declared a state of emergency due to the high water issues yesterday. Several bridges were closed down and washed out. And so we do actually have more rain on the way. And also some of those people say the high water kind of damaged their driveways.
My husband's been here 50 years, and it's never, ever done anything like it.
Now, there's still more rain to come as we head off through the next couple of days, so we just need to watch this very closely, guys. We're going to be paying attention to the forecast coming up in just a few minutes.
We'll see you then very shortly. Remember now, you can keep track of weather, watch the storms when you're away from the TV with the WKYT Weather Plus Traffic app. And you can download that for free in the App or Google Play stores. We'll be watching it carefully today.
Yeah.
It feels very, soupy out there.
Something could happen, yeah.
You got it, right. All right, other news. It's the question no one has been able to answer. What happened to Brooklyn Farthing? The Madison County teenager disappeared 3 years ago, and still there is no sign of her.
Has been a huge mystery. Last night, her family and friends gathered at the Berea home where Brooklyn was last seen to pray and release balloons in her honor. Garrett Weimer has that story.
It was the place she disappeared, now the place her family gathers.
It's like I want to go over there and open that door and think that I'm going to see her sitting there. And I know that's not true.
3 years of questions, 3 years of pain.
And we've stayed and we've waited, and it's 3 years again. And we don't have our family back together.
Not knowing where she is or what happened, they have nowhere else to go.
I've got a boarded up old house that may or may not be where she was. But for me, this is all I have. This is the only place I can go.
Years of searching and following up on leads has turned up nothing. Now, police are again asking for help finding Farthing and whoever's responsible for her disappearance. Family members say they just want to know where she is.
That we may bring her home or award unto us.
They released balloons.
Brooke, we love you.
Likewise, sending skyward their hopes and their prayers. How important is that to get Brooke home?
Would you say you'd give your life for your child?
Looking for closure beyond the closed door of an empty house in Madison County.
And I don't care what it costs or what I have to do. I want my baby home, and that's all I want.
Garrett Weimer, WKYT.
Well, there is a $14,000 reward for information leading to the return of Brooklyn or the arrest and conviction of whoever is responsible. Family members ask you contact police if you happen to have any information. You can find a number for that on WKYT.com on the WKYT News app as well. Authorities have released some of the 911 calls made by people who tried to help a boy who was hit by a car in Pulaski County. 10-year-old Stanley Turner was hit by the car Monday night on Rock Lick Creek Road. He later died at the hospital. Investigators still have not been able to track down a hit-and-run driver who they say caused Stanley's death. Police say there were no witnesses. One woman who called 911 had to run back and forth from the landline phone at a nearby home.
Okay, do you know how to do CPR?
I don't.
Okay, do you want me to walk you through it?
Oh, God, I'm not even near him. I'm 100 feet from him. I don't have cell phone service.
Well, police do say they want to question a woman driving a red four-door car who was seen in the area around the time of the crash.
Wildlife officials in Florida now think they have captured the alligator that killed a 2-year-old boy last week. Investigators say the gator dragged Lane Graves into a lagoon near the Grand Floridian Resort at Walt Disney World. Last night, wildlife officials said they have stopped alligator trapping activities in the area after removing 6 gators. They say they are confident one of those killed the boy based on expert analysis and staff observations. Back in Kentucky, a proposed ordinance in Letcher County regarding where transgender people can use the restroom has been stopped. The Letcher County Fiscal Court had asked the county attorney to research if an ordinance could be passed saying the county would not follow any federal directives that allowed transgender people to use the restroom of their choice. But the court voted by a 5-to-1 margin this week not to pursue the potential ordinance. New this morning, Georgetown College has been placed on probation by a regional accreditation organization. The Southern Association of Colleges and Schools, the Commission on Colleges, says the probation will last a year. It says Georgetown College has failed to comply with financial stability requirements. In a letter sent to the campus community, Georgetown President M. Dwayne Green says the probation was expected. He blames large enrollment declines in 2012 and 2013 that led to budget deficits. But Green says enrollment has increased in the last few years and the financial situation is improving. He expects all the issues to be resolved during the probation period.
Usually when you take a boat out on Lake Cumberland, you don't see anything more than fish.
So a family got a big surprise when they spotted a bear that was swimming in the water. It was caught on tape. As Monique Blair tells us, it's not the only bear sighting in Pulaski County recently.
Earlier this week in Pulaski County, Teresa Whitaker-Nix saw something she never expected to see.
Adrenaline was pumping, and I was so excited that I was able to actually see a bear in my own backyard. And you know, I'd heard the neighbors talking about seeing it, but I hadn't got to yet, so it was exciting.
But there was possibly an even bigger surprise for Sharon Gorham and her husband last Thursday as they were enjoying a boat ride on Lake Cumberland when they saw something swimming in the water.
I thought, well, it's a deer, but it was too big to be a deer.
So they got just a little closer.
When we got closer, I noticed that it was black and that it was a bear.
Gorman says she wasn't nervous, though. The roughly 300-pound black bear was about 20 feet away from her boat.
He wasn't interested in us at all, really. To see a bear on land is something, you know, I might be a little bit more nervous, but in the water, it was just, I just thought it was cool.
So she recorded as the bear swam about 300 yards from Burnside Island to the other side of the lake.
He just got up on the rock and turned around and looked at us and then just meandered into the woods.
Gorham says it all happened quickly and it was likely a sight she'll never see again.
I mean, I think that's a once-in-a-lifetime sighting.
All right, the Pulaski County Sheriff's Office strongly advises people do not attempt to feed the bears. Not only is it illegal, but it is also dangerous for both the person and the bear.
So I would say that is very good advice,
Yes.
Right? Okay, Thursday morning on WKYT this morning, and we're just getting started. Great to have you with us. Coming up on 4:39 right now.
Shopping the milk aisle at the grocery store isn't quite as simple as it used to be, actually. Coming up, a few things to consider when you are there at your neighborhood grocer.
Storms to the north of us will start to get a few threats early in the morning, but really it's later on this evening off into the night. The severe weather threat rolls on in. We're going to get into that coming up next. We are once again on a first alert severe weather day. We do have a few watches here and there. Tornado watch in effect. Now this was actually placed in last night, still going on until 5 a.m. So we have a few more minutes for that area. And that area because of these storms just to the north. And you can see, I mean, it is lighting up the sky just north of the river. And this is heading now into Cincinnati and Covington, Boone, Kenton, Campbell counties. You're next in line with this thunderstorm. Now there's a severe thunderstorm warning on this. We'll see if that holds tight through those far northern zones, so at least the far northern counties. And a lot of that sliding down toward the east-southeast. So a lot of this will just scrape right along the AA highway and also the river as well. So that's what we're going to be watching out for the next few hours. Now, as we get into the afternoon, really much of your day, there is a small chance during the day, but much of your day is about heat. It's 92 degrees later on this afternoon, hot and humid, and then we slide off into your evening hours. That's where it becomes pretty active. And we're talking about storms popping up in the northern zones and sliding southbound. The best bet for damaging winds will be in northern Kentucky due to the fact, one, the energy's up there. Number two, it's going to be mainly during the late daylight part of the day. So you get in towards your 5, 6, 7 p.m., you'll start to see those pop up, and then they'll slide southbound as we go through the evening and off into the night. The main threats we're going to be watching for: high winds and also your flooding. That's the main concern in the forecast. Still can't rule out every single part or element of severe weather. Tornadic activity is very low, but it's still there. We just can't rule it out. I've been asked about that a lot. Hail is a possibility, still relatively low too, but flooding and high winds, that's going to be our main concern as we head throughout not just your evening, but into the nighttime hours, especially for southern Kentucky, when once again we saw that flooding event go on in Harlan and Leslie County yesterday. So your severe threat is day. Once again, small chance during the daylight hours. It's mainly about the heat during the daylight, and then we get off into late afternoon, early evening. You'll start to see those storms pop up, and then they'll slide southbound. So southern Kentucky, you guys have a lesser opportunity for severe weather, and also it's later into the evening and night. Friday, Saturday look much better, but they are going to feel warm. 87 there on Friday, which isn't that bad, but 94 on Saturday, 93 on Sunday, that's bad. That doesn't feel good right there. So yeah, we're really focusing in on not just heat for the weekend, but also those storms later on tonight.
All right, summer in all of its facets.
You're feeling it.
Thank you, Mike. Our time is 4:45 here in a couple of seconds. They say it builds strong bones, but there are a lot more options out there than there used to be when it comes to drinking your milk.
In today's Mom's Everyday Minute, a few tips can help you make the best choice.
With so many choices between dairy and non-dairy milk, you can be tempted to try something new, even if you're not lactose intolerant. And that's not a bad idea, since mixing up the milk you drink gives you a variety of nutrients. Cow's milk still packs the most protein at 8 grams a cup. You get almost a third of your daily calcium needs. Soy milk is a close second when it comes to protein, 7 grams a cup. And since it's plant-based protein, it may help lower heart disease risk. Almond milk offers immunity-boosting vitamin E and only has 35 calories for each cup. But be careful if you choose a sweetened variety that goes up. Coconut milk has no protein, but it does have a saturated fat that ups your good cholesterol. And it's one of the richer tasting non-dairy options. Cashew milk is high in vitamin E, and many say it tastes creamier than the other nut milks. For those with dairy, soy, or nut intolerance, rice milk is an option, but it does have more calories and carbs than the other choices. And when it comes to the non-dairy milks, remember, not all fortified with calcium, and some have added sugar. So check the label carefully. For more ways to make mom's life easier, visit momseveryday.com.
For these tips and more, go to WKYT.com, click on Moms Everyday.
And right there, of course, we'll be keeping you right up to the minute on weather throughout the day on this WKYT First Alert Severe Weather Day. Much more news coming right up.
Well, Democrats and Republicans are battling on the House floor as they debate gun control laws. We've got the latest right after the break. Welcome back. 4:49 is the time this morning. Democrats in the U.S. House pulled an all-nighter as they demanded a vote on gun control legislation.
They have staged a protest on the House floor. Republicans are not amused by what's going on. Adam May has the latest from Capitol Hill.
8/2016, the unfinished business is further consideration.
Republicans returned to the House floor Wednesday night and conducted business around their Democratic counterparts. Democrats are holding a sit-in demanding a vote on gun control. Georgia Congressman John Lewis, a veteran civil rights activist, led more than 100 of his colleagues in the unprecedented action.
Sometimes you have to turn things upside down to set them right side up.
All work came to a halt on the floor earlier, and frustrated Republicans left the room. The C-SPAN cameras were turned off, so some Democrats used social media to broadcast the proceedings.
Rise up, Democrats!
A spokesperson for House Speaker Paul Ryan said the House cannot operate without members following the rules of the institution. Democrats pledged to stick it out until there's a commitment for a vote.
People are bringing in their blankets and pillows or whatever we need to do to stay overnight.
The gun control bills call for expanding background checks and blocking suspected terrorists from purchasing guns. Measures Democrats say the vast majority of Americans support. Republican members of Congress disagree.
We have something that's maybe a little inconvenient in this country. It's called the Constitution. And what it says is you can't remove someone's rights.
The GOP leadership plans to bring a vote to the floor Thursday for Zika funding, but no mention of any movement on gun control. Adam May for CBS News, Capitol Hill.
All 4 measures on gun control in the Senate did not have enough votes for a 60% majority, but House votes only require a simple majority. Police in Louisiana have a suspect in custody for a shooting that killed a sheriff's deputy. It happened yesterday afternoon in Harvey, that is near New Orleans. Investigators say Jefferson Parish Deputy David Michel, David Michel, had stopped the subject who was walking along a busy street. They say the suspect and the deputy then got into a struggle. The deputy was shot 3 times in the back. He later died at a hospital. Witnesses say the suspect ran off after the shooting. Police found him hiding in a nearby backyard. New this morning, the Coast Guard says it has found a body while searching for a missing Florida father and his 3 children. Investigators say the body was found in a debris field that is believed to be part of a sailboat off the Gulf Coast near Fort Myers. The body has not been identified. Search crews have been looking for 45-year-old Ace Kimberly and his 3 teenage children. They left Sarasota on their sailboat on Sunday, and they have not been heard from since.
Well, we now know more about why the Fayette County Health Department shut down a popular Lexington restaurant. Health inspectors closed Red Bang Bang Chinese restaurant on West Maxwell Tuesday. A woman claims she found a dead mouse in her meal there. A picture claiming to show the mouse has been shared many times on Facebook. The restaurant says it reached out to the health department asking for an inspection. The health department says inspectors did find mouse droppings in the restaurant, so they decided to close it for now. Inspectors say getting a report about rodents in food is unusual.
We didn't see any activity or anything that would indicate that they had got into the food, but I can't comment any further regarding the picture that was posted.
A representative for the restaurant manager says managers are using this time to renovate that restaurant, hope they can reopen Monday. The health department will have to inspect it again first. The restaurant management says they're taking the woman's claim seriously, but they also say they're very skeptical because she asked them for $25,000. A Jackson County city has received an honor that city leaders hope will bring in more tourists there. McKee has been certified as Kentucky's 14th trail town. That means the state will advertise the city along with other Kentucky trail towns when trying to bring more hikers and bikers to Kentucky. McKee is at the crossroads of the Sheltowee Trace Trails and the Transamerica Bicycle Trail.
All right,
Cool.
Tourism, adventure tourism out there. Coming up next, a look at some of the news stories that our team is working on for you this morning.
We'll also have another look at your morning forecast.
Good morning. Welcome back in. WKYT this morning on the air. We're about to hit 4:57 here on your Thursday.
I hope yours is off to a great start. It's time to take a look at some of the stories we're working on this morning.
Police are investigating after a violent home invasion this morning in Lexington. They say a teenager was hurt. We'll have details on that story coming up live in our next half hour.
This morning, House Democrats continue their contentious sit-in on Capitol Hill demanding a vote on gun control legislation. We'll have more on that story ahead on WKYT this morning.
We are watching for potentially strong storms today, certainly hot weather on this summer day.
Yeah, tell us all about it, Micah.
Yeah, and it's going to be steamy today. Daylight hours, it looks like a small chance of rain, mainly dry conditions. But then we head off into the evening and night. That's when we're going to be seeing the bulk of this energy roll on through. This is what you're looking at toward the north. Boone, Kenton, Campbell counties now with a severe thunderstorm warning in effect, and that's heading right into your region here in just about 15 minutes. It starts in the northern portions of those counties and slides south and southeast. I'll talk about that. I'll also show you when more storms develop later on today. That's coming up with another 2 hours of WKYT News.